Well, it's time to head into the episode that I don't think any of us expected to have this season. We spent just 25 minutes in the playoff places throughout the year, but it was the last 25, and now we face West Bromwich Albion for a place at Wembley. Yes, hello, and welcome along to part 17 of Built in Bristol with me, Daniel. We are back today to face West Bromwich Albion, who finished third in the Championship this season, and remarkably, with a much lower points total than last year, we are in 6th place and in the playoffs. We got in by the skin of our teeth. We spent most of the year battling for our job in the bottom half, but if you're looking forward to seeing if we can pull off a miracle without the two players who were the stars of the first half of the season, and please do put a thumbs up on the video. Of course, we've not got a lot to reflect on today because we haven't been in a game since that brilliant finish to the last episode against Nottingham Forest, but this is absolutely huge. If we do make the final, it will be Bournemouth or Middlesbrough our opponents, and of course, our summer transfer work will also be slightly delayed because of this. We don't know whether we're going to need a complete overhaul or if we can secure a promotion. Will the likes of Scott, Masengo, Pring all suddenly want new reasonable deals? If you're looking forward to finding out, then please do put a thumbs up on the video. But for now, we've got to go and get into this. I am putting a quick warning out. Even if we reach the final, we won't play it today because I don't want to give it away from episode length. So let's go and get straight into the first leg via the dynamic screen, because as we mentioned for the first time in the last episode, we have now got 3 greens, albeit the managerial support is barely a green. It's significantly better than where it's been for most of the year. So let's go and get through the fixtures. West Bromwich Albion, they finished the season pretty well, especially by FM standards for teams stumbling over the line. They got 7 points from their last 3 games, including a draw against the champions Palace. So they're going to be a formidable opponent. They've got quality players all over the pitch. They picked up Jack Butland last summer, so he is now their first choice goalkeeper. Darryl O'Shea has stayed in this universe. Nathaniel Shalabar's in there. John Swift's still going strong, as is Tom Rogic. And they've got Kiefer Moore up front in addition to Daryl DK and Carlin Grant. So 3 very good championship ones in this save. So let's go and get through the tactical meeting. We're going to have to try and deal with Kiefer Moore, which is going to be a problem for us because we've not got the tallest or most physical back 3. And in fact, what were our results this season against them? So we played them on Boxing Day and we lost 2-1 away from home. And we played them 3 weeks before and we won 2-1 with Sam Surridge getting both. So actually, Tommy Conway, who won't play today, is the only fit player who scored against them this year. That's a bit of a concern. But we have got a light match load. Everyone's had 9 days to recover. And I think, providing there's no disasters, we're going to stick with the same team that finished the season because that performance away at Forest and the one before it as well, in fairness, were both very good. And you can see that bar Abdullasima, who's deputising for the injured Surridge, we've got everyone fit and we're as good as we can be. So this is what we're going to go for. It is Nathan Baxter in goal, Vandenberg, Darling and Bajcetic in the back 3, Bulat, Scott and Masengo the midfield 3, Tanner and Pring either side at wing back. Then up front it is Greenwood and Seamer. Greenwood has finished the season in style after settling in, and if we do go up, or whether we stay down in fact, we'll try and bring him back to the club. If we go up though, we might be able to make it a permanent one. We have got Tommy Conway on the bench, who we mentioned scored in the last outing between these two, as well as super sub Harry Cornick and a plethora of options in midfield. So let's just go and get into it. Our new look tactic has been great for results this year, and I'm hoping that can carry us through tonight. Very different to last season, the polar opposite in fact. We go into the playoffs in good form after a poor season, rather than in poor form after sliding away from a good year. Will it make any difference to this occasion? Well, there's only one way to find out. Into the first game we go. Please, just keep us in the tie. And here is the West Brom team. I didn't mention Callum Doyle as centre-half as well. Another good signing in there. They've got plenty of quality throughout and their bench is so strong. Most of them would start for us. Through the dressing room we go then. Carlos Corberán sides are always rock solid. So this is going to be pretty tricky. However, we go into the first half full of optimism in front of a full Ashton Gate. And it's not Burnley this year. And maybe we can get the result. Let's go and see if we can. 15 minutes gone. It's been very quiet so far. Of course, the battle for possession is going to be trickier here because West Brom are quite good on the ball in this universe. And you can see, even when we like to play short, they're dominating it for now. They've not had a shot on goal until the last minute though. And now, oh no. Oh, you've got to be kidding me. What is going on in this save? Harry Darling is sent off for a second yellow card for deliberate handball. Every big game there's a red card. Every single big game. And again, I mean, what do I do now? I'm going to leave Greenwood through the middle up front because he's been so good recently. Seamer will come off and we'll put Cal Naismith in defence, but FM just crushes you every time. After that euphoria of sneaking in the playoffs, to then do that to me. Oh, it's infuriating. Jed Wallace with a free kick, which goes over. Now I guess it's as simple as, can we get a 0-0? Can we get a draw to take away with us? Because a first minute yellow card as well. Can I see that? I want to have a look at the first minute yellow card because it's from the kickoff here. And I want to see what he got booked for because the second one is a ridiculous handball. And I want to know how he got booked very early in the game. So Pring gave the ball away on the left. Seamer then get it back to Buildup. Shots blocked. What's this? Oh, that's ridiculous. What are you doing, man? It's not like Kiefer Moore's got the pace to run away from you, is it? And now our playoff chances are dashed and we're going to have to rebuild the squad this summer, aren't we? As Doyle brings the ball forward, we need a miracle. Masengo nicks it for Bulat. That's not bad. Can we get one on the counter? Not with Greenwood back there. Tanner gets it on the right though, and Greenwood is busting a gut to get forward. Tanner goes all the way. It's great defending, and it's away by West Bromwich Albion, or so I thought. But now without two up front, they've got time to play it out from the back. There's no real pressure on them. As Chalabar gets the ball in to Kiefer Moore. Back to Doyle, who again, we're going to have to accept West Brom will dominate the ball back there. And Masengo's nicked it. It's another mistake. Two are getting forward. He's going alone now. And Noah Masengo. He's not got the finish, but it's brilliant work. He's pressing hard. But it's not enough. And it's a West Brom goal kick with Butland. We know where it's aimed at. What's Greenwood doing back there? Suarez gets it to Kiefer Moore. Through to John Swift. Brought down by Bajcetic. Oh, bravo, Michael Oliver. Bravo, Michael Oliver. Why don't you just take the game away from us? Absolutely outstanding. Get the FA investigated for corruption. Ridiculous. 3 minutes to half time. 1-0 West Brom. A second yellow card and then a penalty. Oh, you could not write this, could you? You could not write this script if you tried. Let's get through the dressing room. Show a bit of desire. I'm not sure what more they can do though because the officials want them to lose. And when you're in that position, these scripts are written well in advance, I'm afraid. We've got 35 minutes remaining and George Tanner gets it at right back. He picks the ball up, goes down the line to Masengo. Back out to Tanner. On the right-hand side, chance to cross the ball. Cuts it back inside to Masengo. Chance to cross, Scott's in there. Penalty kick. You've got to give that. And he has done. Cal Naismith is one of the best penalty takers left on the pitch. Please don't miss. I mean, we've talked about the scripting of FM. Well, let's see if it's there today. Cal Naismith sends the keeper the wrong way. And if we can get a draw out of this leg with Harry Darling suspended, that is going to be a huge bonus. Back in the game, back on terms. And now we've just got to hold on and try and do the job at Albion. Because at the moment, I don't see how we win here. We've got 20 odd minutes to go and I am going to make some changes. We've got a few days off between the legs, so it's not a huge problem. I'm going to take George Tanner off on the right for Mark Sykes. Just try and give us a bit more support going forward and trust the back three we've got now. That means I'm going to bring off Greenwood as well. And I'm going to go for Harry Cornick through the middle to super sub. Or do I go for Conway, who scored against them before? Who's got more pace? I think Cornick. Yeah, I've got to go for legs through the middle. When you've got 10 men, pace is the biggest threat. So Alex Scott will go back into the holding role. We'll also bring on Joe Williams in midfield. Him and Masengo. Pace to burn. Lots of energy. Lots of determination. And with 20 remaining, the subs have not yet been made. But here's Tanner on the right. Imagine we nick it tonight now. Bajcetic gets the ball in. From 5 minutes, I can go from swearing to jubilation as Pring on the left. Gets to the byline. Chance to cross is a good run. That's a red card as well. Is it a penalty as well? He's given another penalty. Oh, that's got to be a red, referee. Look at the scissor motion. Do not bottle it. Off he goes. What is going on? It didn't look in the box. This is just a bonkers game, and if ever I've said anything about the big games and red cards in FM, you're seeing it now. Cal Naismith makes no mistake again. He's had a shocking season. He's been awful. He's going to have to play the second leg because of Darlin's suspension. But he has single-handedly led us towards the final. Who on earth saw this coming? We can't do it the easy way, can we? I'm going to take off who? Alex Scott, maybe? I think I'm going to take Alex Scott off and just go for a bit more bite in midfield. Fitness is key now. So Masengo drops into the holding role. We've got Joe Williams there. McCrory will be a box-to-box midfielder, and we'll just get those two to do leg work. They've only got to do half an hour or so. In McCrory's case, only 7 minutes. And somehow we've turned it around with 2 penalties. Maybe criticising the referee and slamming his door down at half-time has had an influence, because in the second half, 2 penalties and a red card the other way. I mean, what a game. A red card apiece, 3 penalties for 3 goals. I mean, it is the classic FM game. But crucially, we have got an advantage for the second leg, and we'll be back in a moment for it. Lots of suspensions all round, but now we've got a chance. Well, here we go. The moment of truth has arrived after that bonkers first leg, and we know who our opponents are going to be if we make the final. Because if we have a look at what happened in the other game, Bournemouth, after a 3-3 draw away at Middlesbrough, won 3-0 at home to get to the final with a 6-3 aggregate win. So we will be facing a side looking to bounce back to the Premier League, as Gary O'Neill has got a very good side there, including a superstar Austrian in the middle. And you can see from the wages, I mean, it's a very different level. However, we have got a chance here. We are 2-1 up against West Brom. We got knocked out in the semi-finals last year, and it looked like at half-time we were well on our way to the same here. However, we have now got a slender lead to take to the Hawthorns. We've got a suspension to Harry Darlin, and we're going to have to address that. Near enough everyone is fit because, of course, we've had 5 days off again. So Cal Naismith is going to come in with Bajcetic moving to the middle. Of course, that's the only option we've got back there. Sean Ruffin, the youngster, will go on to the bench. Everything else stays the same. But if you wanted to get another glimpse into FM and all of the bizarre things that could happen, if we do make the final, we'll be without Tommy Conway, who goes on international duty tomorrow. Who goes on international duty just before the Championship playoff final? Absolutely bonkers. We'll address that when we get to it. Hopefully, if it's affecting us with one player, it'll be worse for Bournemouth, who are a far superior side. So let's go and get into the second leg. We lead 2-1 going into this one. Lord knows what's going to happen. And I guess we better have a prediction in the comments. How many red cards are there going to be in this game? Well, the boys are on board, but we've not quite got the same luxury as West Brom here, who make 4 changes to strengthen their team, and by the looks of it, change shape with 2 natural strikers in. Of course, they've got the suspension to Wallace, but 3 other changes as well. And our job here is to try and hold on. I know we're underdogs. Do what you can for the fans. That was not particularly useful. So let's see if we can ramp some people up another way. We'll get to the defenders first, and we'll say, I want you to make the difference. Do us proud. We've got a few of them on board. Let's go and get through the tunnel interview into the first half. We're 2-1 up, but our away record is far inferior this year. We need to try and get that right tonight. A repeat of the Forest performance would be lovely. Well, an eerily quiet start, as with half an hour gone, no shots from West Brom, a bit of possession, but no real quality from either side. And we all saw how it exploded in the last game, so I'm a little bit worried about that. As Furlong goes for the long throw, which Kiefer Moore tried to get on the end of. Oh, I thought he was going to give another penalty there. Pring clears it long downfield, but it's still West Brom on the attack. Seamer, the man who was unlucky in the last game to get substituted, but we got away with it in the end. Can he provide a threat today, playing the second leg? As it outs Furlong at right back, who carries it forward for West Brom. Naismith, in fairness, does well today. And those 2 penalties should have boosted his confidence, as the long ball forward finds Seamer. Oh, Butland's caught. Seamer's got a turn. He's got to score. He does score. Just about the only thing we hadn't yet seen in this tie is a bonkers bit of goalkeeping. Butland came out to sweep. He did well initially, but he couldn't get the ball under control. Seamer popped back to nick it off him, and he's put it into the empty net. It is 3-1 on aggregate. And it was just a long ball downfield from Masengo which got lucky, as Naismith plays in Alex Scott to Seamer again. Oh my word, it's happening like Forest. We have hit form at the perfect time. Cal Naismith with a good ball in there. Scott threads it through. And to be fair to him, he's finished the season on fire. Abdullah Sima, substituted unluckily due to the red card last game, has now scored 2 to surely put us at Wembley. Surely we can't throw it away from here. There's just 35 minutes to go. West Brom have only mustered 1 shot on target, and maybe it was the way to do it. We see it so often in real life, in fairness. The side that comes in and sneaks into the playoffs in form after a poor season is the one that normally does well. And it looks like it might be the same for us. We're not going to make too many changes too early. However, with 20 to go, I'm going to take off Greenwood for Cornick, just get a little bit of pace through the middle. And again, there's no point bringing Conway on because he's not going to be available for the final. A 4-1 with 15 to go. I am going to gamble though and rest Cameron Pring because we need him fit. Sean Ruffin surely isn't bad enough that we'll concede 3 goals in 15 minutes. Cal Naismith's actually had a poor game tonight. We're just going to look after people. Masengo's naturally fit. Alex Scott not so much. Buildup not so much either. So we'll give it 5 more minutes and then those 2 will come off. I just want to get as close to being assured as possible. And with 83 on the clock, I feel that now. The players I'm bringing on are determined characters as well. So it will be Joe Williams on, Masengo into the holding role, and then McCrory on. We'll do the same again. We'll go for a box-to-box in there. And then the final sub will be George Tanner is tired at right wing back. We've got a great replacement in Mark Sykes. He's covered really well in that position. And we just try and hold on. In the end, this has been the least dramatic game we've had in some time. We had that drama against Forest. We had the bonkers first leg. And this has been pretty pedestrian. Seema wrapped it up by half time and we've seen it out professionally. And this tactic does allow it. As Seema's in for a hat-trick, deflects off the defender in. And the shot was on target, so he's gifted the goal. What a man, Abdullah Sima. Absolutely brilliant. He's got his Benjani and Robbie Keane goal celebrations mixed up there, but we'll forgive him. A hat-trick for Abdullah Sima. Heroics to get us to Wembley. And we head there with a 5-1 aggregate win. And after 45 minutes of the first leg, I would never have seen that in a million years. We're now starting to find the goal with regularity. And you know what that means? We've got another bonus episode because our next episode will be the playoff final between Bristol City and Bournemouth. When is that game played? That's what I need to know. How many days off have we got? We've got a week, which should be fine. So let's skip through once to get that confirmation. And then we can look forward to Wembley. Well, here it is. Mark the dates in your diary because next Sunday, the 2nd of June 2024, Bristol City face high-flying Bournemouth, a side with loads of money coming down from the Premier League for a place to return to the Premier League in their case. For us, a first chance to get to the division. This could be a monumental moment for the Save. Winning or losing can make the difference between having young stars for the future staying here and having to redo a whole squad over the summer. It's going to be huge. It's going to be exciting. And it could yet be ruined by international call-ups. We'll see how that affects Bournemouth. But we know we're going to be without Tommy Conway. For now, though, I don't think we can worry about that. What a finish to the season. We spent so much of it fighting for our job. We spent so much of it getting frustrated in games we dominated. And now we've found a tactic where, without being brilliant, we can be very efficient and ruthless. And I've used it on multiple teams this season. It seems to have worked to all of them. We have got to stick with it now and hope that it can push us over the line in what would be a surprise as the underdogs at Wembley. If you're looking forward to it and you did enjoy this video, a bonkers first leg. I mean, have you ever seen anything like it? It was crazy. And then a pretty comprehensive win the second time around. And please do put a thumbs up on it. I'd like to send my apologies to the FA and to Michael Oliver for the first leg because he did even it up in the second half. And Cal Naismith and Abdullah Sima, probably not the most likely heroes, but they are the men that have sent us to Wembley. Let me know in the comments how you think we'll get on. If you're looking forward to it, then please do subscribe and turn that notification bell on. It'll make sure you don't miss a thing and get alerts every time there's a new video. We'll be back in a couple of days for it, but first, the Builder Nation will return next time. You can find that playlist up in the eye above, as well as the top threes, the Twitch channel, and the football podcast for regular championship predictions from the real footballing world. But thank you very much for watching. Any other links you can't find will be in the description below. And I'll see you next time for the richest game in football, the Championship Playoff Final at Wembley Stadium.